Hey everyone, and welcome back to PS5 Nexus. Get ready, because the news cycle is absolutely exploding today with updates that you cannot afford to miss. We've got a rapid-fire rundown of the hottest tech and gaming reveals that are shaking up the industry. From incredible hardware deals to major franchise shifts, we're diving deep into everything you need to know. Stick around, because you won't want to miss a single second of this. First up, a massive price drop on a super-fast SSD that's perfect for your PS5 and gaming PC. Is this the upgrade you've been waiting for? Then, we're talking about a classic shooter making a surprising debut on a new platform, but is it a triumphant return or a misstep? You'll want to hear our take on this one. Plus, we've got the inside scoop on a high-performance console hitting an all-time low price. Could now be the perfect time to snag that premium gaming experience. And finally, we're exploring a monumental shift in gaming exclusivity that could redefine how we play for years to come. It's all happening right here, right now. Don't go anywhere. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update from PS5 Nexus. Massive SSD deal alert. Get ready to supercharge your storage. One of WD's newest and fastest SSDs, the WD Black SN7100 PCIe 4M2 NVMe solid-state drive, is currently experiencing a significant price drop, making it an incredibly attractive option for both PlayStation 5 owners and PC gamers alike. Ahead of the upcoming Labor Day festivities, Amazon is offering the spacious 4TB variant for an astonishingly low price of just $209.99, which includes free shipping. This particular model, the SN7100, was initially launched in November of 2024, but the much-anticipated 4TB capacity only became available in March of 2025. This current Amazon price point represents the absolute lowest the drive has ever been sold for, solidifying it as a prime candidate for your next storage upgrade. Whether you're looking to expand your PS5's internal storage or seeking a blazing fast boot drive for your gaming PC, this SSD promises exceptional performance and reliability. The WD Black SN7100 is engineered as a superior successor to the previous SN770 model, incorporating Western Digital's latest in-house Polaris 3 controller and advanced 218-layer TLC 3D NAND flash memory. This cutting-edge technology enables blistering sequential read speeds of up to 7,000 MBs and write speeds of 6,900 MBs furthermore. It delivers impressive random performance with up to 900K IOPS for reads and 1,300K IOPS for writes, ensuring that game loading times and file transfers are virtually instantaneous. Beyond its raw speed, the SN7100 boasts an exceptional endurance rating of 2,400 TBW, terabytes written. This figure is significantly higher than many competing SSDs, meaning that even the most dedicated gamers will likely find themselves upgrading their system long before they approach this drive's endurance limit. The drive also excels in energy efficiency, consuming less power and generating less heat compared to many other 4TB SSDs on the market. Its single-sided design contributes to a slimmer profile, enhancing compatibility with a wide range of devices, including compact mini PCs and ultra-thin laptops. A key differentiator between the SN7100 and its more premium sibling, the SN8100, which currently commands a price more than double, lies in its memory architecture. The SN7100 is a DRAM-less design, opting instead for host memory buffer, HMB, technology. HMB utilizes a small portion of your system's RAM, typically 64 MB, to buffer data, a method that gamers will find offers no discernible performance difference whether installed in a PlayStation 5 or a gaming PC. The substantial cost savings associated with this design are directly passed on to the consumer, making this deal even more appealing. For PlayStation 5 users, the WD Black SN7100 is an ideal choice, as it comfortably meets all of Sony's recommended specifications for PS5 internal storage expansion. This includes adhering to the M2 2280 form factor, exceeding the minimum required speed of 5,500 mbps, and utilizing the essential PCIe Gen 4x4 interface. While the drive does not come with a pre-installed heatsink, a compatible aftermarket heatsink can be purchased for around $7 and is exceptionally easy to install. Furthermore, the WD Black SN7100 is backed by a comprehensive 5-year warranty, providing peace of mind for your investment. This incredible deal is a testament to the value available for gamers looking to enhance their setup without breaking the bank. Many community members are buzzing about this price point, seeing it as the perfect opportunity to finally upgrade their PS5 or PC storage to a faster, more capacious solution. This storage solution is flying off the shelves, but we're not done yet. Next up, a legendary shooter makes its controversial debut on a new console generation. Gears of War, reloaded on PS5, a nostalgic trip or a stumble. When the original Gears of War launched on the Xbox 360 back in 2006, it didn't just make waves, it fundamentally reshaped the third-person shooter landscape. Its signature cover-based combat, the unforgettable chainsaw bayonets, and the sheer brute force of its protagonists cemented its gritty atmosphere and compelling narrative. Marcus Fenix and the relentless Locust Horde became synonymous with the Xbox brand, standing toe-to-toe with icons like Master Chief from Halo. Now, Gears of War, Reloaded arrives on modern platforms, aiming to recapture that magic, and for the most part, it succeeds, though not without its share of caveats. Experiencing Gears of War, Reloaded on the PlayStation 5 is, frankly, a surreal journey. As someone who grew up primarily with Nintendo and PlayStation consoles, Gears of War was the title that pulled me into the Xbox ecosystem. I adored the first installment and the original trilogy, but my engagement waned after Gears of War, Judgment. The prospect of playing this seminal series on a PlayStation 5, 2 full console generations after its initial debut, feels almost dreamlike. After dedicating around 10 hours to reliving the iconic campaign, Gears of War, Reloaded has undeniably unearthed a treasure trove of fond memories, many of which have remarkably held up over time. Initially, Gears of War, Reloaded makes a powerful visual statement. The graphical overhaul is immediately apparent, and when coupled with enhanced audio design, the series feels even more cinematic. The core gameplay mechanics remain as satisfying as they were nearly 2 decades ago. However, as the nostalgia begins to fade slightly, Gears of War, Reloaded starts to reveal the double-edged nature of revisiting beloved classics. Despite the clear improvements made, certain issues persist, some of which are new to this iteration, while others are age-old problems that have unfortunately carried over. Rating: 3.55. Nearly 20 years after its original release, Gears of War, Reloaded continues to carry the significant weight of being one of Xbox's most defining franchises. This enduring appeal is largely attributed to its narrative, a desperate fight for survival against overwhelming odds, propelled by a relentless pace that rarely allows players a moment's respite. The story masterfully balances its tragic undertones with a sense of stoic resilience, told through the experiences of Marcus Fenix, Dominic Santiago, and the rest of Delta Squad. Many of the series' most iconic moments still resonate deeply, amplified by the game's emotional core and cinematic presentation. Yet, when stripped of the nostalgic filter, the underlying design choices of Gears of War, Reloaded undeniably show their age. The game's level design and pacing often fall into a predictable pattern. Move to the next encounter through linear environments that offer little surprise. The enemy AI, while functional, feels basic and repetitive, which further accentuates this linearity and transforms firefights into methodical exercises rather than exhilarating clashes. The dialogue, which once felt sharp and impactful, now often comes across as stiff and fails to land with the same punch, occasionally undermining key narrative moments. Even with the visual and audio enhancements, the fundamental design choices firmly plant Gears of War, Reloaded in the mid-2000s era. For players who experienced the series during their formative years, these quirks might evoke a sense of charming familiarity, a common side effect of remasters. However, for newcomers expecting a shooter that can genuinely compete with contemporary titles, especially when experiencing this franchise for the first time on a competing console. The cracks in its foundation are starkly apparent and difficult to overlook. One of the more vexing aspects encountered in Gears of War, Reloaded, pertains to its bugs and technical glitches. And no, we're not talking about the in-game Locust Horde's grubs. Throughout the review period, several issues surfaced that significantly disrupted immersion. Despite nearly 2 decades having passed since the original release, offering ample opportunity to address known instabilities and improve upon the game's performance, Gears of War Reloaded not only repeats past mistakes, but also introduces new ones. In 2025, the standards for new game releases are considerably higher, and any technical problems are amplified, potentially becoming the defining characteristic of this remaster. During the campaign, audio elements like the crucial radio communication would frequently cut in and out. Entire conversations were rendered unintelligible, forcing reliance on subtitles to follow the narrative. While this might seem like a minor inconvenience, the radio chatter and communication with Anya and Command are integral to the Gears of War experience, and their impairment significantly detracts from the overall immersion. Series veterans will recognize the importance of this element, especially considering its role in the trajectory of future installments. Even for newcomers, the lack of dialogue during critical moments, often accompanied by characters getting stuck while walking, can shatter immersion. Furthermore, the core gameplay mechanics are not immune to these issues. The cover system, a cornerstone of the Gears of War identity, faltered at times, with the character occasionally snapping to the wrong cover point or repeatedly facing the incorrect direction when aiming. This, combined with inconsistent weapon hit registration and moments where the player character became stuck in the environment during crucial mission sequences, raises questions about the development priorities of the Coalition, the studio responsible for this remaster. While the campaign is a beloved component, the multiplayer has historically been the true lifeblood of the Gears of War series. The Coalition has clearly invested considerable effort in refining this aspect for Gears of War Reloaded. Classic game modes and maps are faithfully recreated, showcasing the series' signature tight map design and deeply satisfying gunplay. Improvements to matchmaking speed and server stability suggest a development approach geared towards modern expectations. Consequently, the multiplayer in Gears of War Reloaded feels more fluid and rewarding than it has in years. However, the Coalition has neglected to address a significant issue that plagued the original release: wall bouncing. This technique, particularly in high-level competitive play, allows skilled players to rapidly shift between cover. With veteran players who have mastered this demanding mechanic competing against newcomers, the experience can be overwhelmingly difficult for fresh recruits. The Coalition's failure to resolve this issue creates a formidable barrier to entry for new players, resulting in a steep learning curve and a pronounced skill gap between seasoned veterans and novice players. Compounding this issue is the noticeable impact on hit detection, especially with the Nasher shotgun, a weapon often favored for its one-shot kill potential. This can lead to firefights being decided solely by who lands the first shot, with a single missed shot often resulting in death. This exacerbates the frustration that newcomers will inevitably face. Without a significant investment in patience and a willingness to learn through repeated failure, many new players may find themselves abandoning Gears of War Reloaded's multiplayer altogether. On the surface, Gears of War Reloaded appears to be a success, not just for the PlayStation platform, but also for Xbox. This remaster finally opens the door for a much wider audience to experience one of gaming's most iconic franchises. The enhanced visuals, updated performance, and overall improved polish undoubtedly make this the definitive way to play the original Gears of War. However, one must question whether Gears of War Reloaded offers enough compelling reasons to justify a new release of the original game. Gears of War Ultimate Edition already achieved many of the objectives that Gears of War Reloaded sets out to accomplish. While the work the Coalition has put into this remaster is commendable, it offers only a marginal improvement over the previous remaster. A key selling point advertised for Gears of War Reloaded was the elimination of loading screens within the campaign. However, loading screens are still present. Though they are brief, lasting only a second or two, their existence is noticeable. Given that this was highlighted as a major feature, their presence feels somewhat incongruous. It is truly remarkable to see such an iconic Xbox series make its debut on the PlayStation 5. But the fundamental question remains, is Gears of War Reloaded truly necessary? While the increased accessibility is certainly welcome, the release itself doesn't feel entirely authentic or groundbreaking. A port of Gears of War, Ultimate Edition, or even a compilation of the entire trilogy would have been a more fitting introduction for the franchise onto Sony's ecosystem. As it stands, Gears of War Reloaded offers largely the same experience as its predecessor, albeit with slightly more refined packaging. The absence of any expanded story content, the lack of new modern quality-of-life features, and the reliance on mechanics that now feel somewhat dated detract significantly from the overall experience. The launch of Gears of War on PlayStation feels like a mixed bag, one that squanders its true potential and comes across as a rather opportunistic cash grab. Community reaction has been divided. While many are excited to finally play Gears on PlayStation, some longtime fans feel the remaster doesn't do enough to justify the cost or address the original's aging issues, especially considering the previous Ultimate Edition. This release has certainly sparked debate, but what about the hardware? Get ready for some serious savings on a powerful console that's now more accessible than ever. PS5 Pro hits all-time low price. Save $50. The PlayStation 5 Pro, typically retailing for $699.99, has seen its steepest discount since launch, dropping to just $649 on Amazon as of May 28th. This marks its best deal yet, and a significant opportunity for gamers looking to secure Sony's most powerful console. The most potent iteration of Sony's PlayStation console has just reached its lowest price point ever during the ongoing 2025 Days of Play sale. While this price reduction is notable, it's worth contextualizing that it still remains $50 more expensive than a 1 TB Xbox Series X after accounting for tariffs. Nevertheless, this represents a rare discount, typically only seen during the intense shopping periods of Cyber Weekend, when PlayStation consoles historically hit their annual lowest prices. This sale offers a welcome reprieve from the console's previously described, brutal, manufacturer's suggested retail price, MSRP. Amazon has officially marked down the PS5 Pro to $649, a reduction from its standard $699.99 price tag. This offer undercuts the current sale price, available directly from PlayStation Direct by a mere 99 cents, making Amazon the slightly more attractive option for this particular deal. The promotion is expected to remain valid through June 11th, concluding at 11:59 p.m. local time, coinciding with the official end of the Days of Play event. Launched in November 2024, a full 4 years after the $499.99 standard PS5, the PS5 Pro is unequivocally a powerhouse for dedicated gamers who prioritize the absolute best visual fidelity and performance for their favorite titles. It positions itself less as a necessary next-generation upgrade and more as a premium, because I can splurge for those with the means and desire for top-tier gaming. Here's a breakdown of its key enhancements compared to its predecessor. Enhanced GPU performance. The Pro boasts a significantly faster GPU, ensuring smoother gameplay and higher frame rates across a wider range of titles. PlayStation's Spectral Super Resolution, PSSR. This advanced AI-driven upscaling technology sharpens visuals and maintains higher frame rates, particularly noticeable in demanding games. Improved ray tracing. The console features more robust ray tracing capabilities, leading to more realistic lighting, shadows, and reflections, enhancing the visual immersion. Wi-Fi 7 support. It incorporates the latest wireless networking standard, Wi-Fi 7, offering faster and more stable wireless connectivity. Increased storage. The PS5 Pro comes equipped with 2 TB of internal storage, double the capacity of the standard PS5, providing ample space for a larger game library. No built-in disk drive. Notably, the PS5 Pro does not include a built-in disk drive. This component is available as a separate purchase for $79.99, which may be an additional consideration for those who prefer physical media. Game compatibility. It's important to note that currently, only 55 games have been specifically optimized or enhanced to fully leverage the PS5 Pro's advanced capabilities. While this number is expected to grow, it's a factor to consider when evaluating the immediate benefits of the hardware upgrade. Beyond the console itself, Sony's Days of Play sale encompasses a broader range of PlayStation hardware, accessories, and games. For those interested in other discounts, be sure to check out PS5 Nexus's comprehensive rundown of the best deals available during this promotional period. The gaming community has reacted positively to this price drop, with many expressing that this is the opportune moment to finally invest in the premium PS5 experience. Analysts suggest this sale is a strategic move by Sony to boost Pro adoption before the holiday season. This console deal is certainly heating things up, but the biggest story might be about how gaming itself is changing. Get ready for a look at a massive shift in exclusivity that could change everything. A new era of gaming, exclusivity redefined. August 26, 2025, is a date poised to be etched in gaming history, marking a significant turning point for two major brands and the industry as a whole. This day signifies the simultaneous launch of Helldivers 2 on Xbox Series XS and Gears of War, Reloaded on PlayStation 5. As Microsoft and Sony engage in an unprecedented exchange of titles once exclusive to their respective platforms, the industry is left to ponder the future implications of this seismic shift. While Microsoft has previously brought its games to PlayStation, this event marks the first instance of Sony releasing one of its flagship exclusives onto an Xbox console. More profoundly, this represents the most significant franchise Microsoft has ever ported to the PlayStation ecosystem. Helldivers 2, a more recent release, has undoubtedly achieved massive success, but it cannot rival the sheer historical impact and cultural significance that Gears of War has had on the gaming world. Originally debuting in 2006, Gears of War rapidly ascended to become one of gaming's most recognizable icons and a definitive mascot for Xbox. Its popularity soared, rivaling even that of Halo, another cornerstone of Xbox gaming. The decision to release Gears of War, Reloaded on PlayStation, signifies a monumental alteration in the landscape of gaming exclusivity, potentially paving the way for numerous other major exclusives to find homes on competing platforms. For decades, the concept of exclusivity has been a defining characteristic of the gaming industry, intrinsically linked to console manufacturers acting as publishers. Companies like Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo meticulously built their platforms and strategic roadmaps around unique, system-selling titles that were unavailable elsewhere. Games like Halo, Combat evolved for Xbox, God of War for PlayStation, and Super Mario titles for Nintendo became essential purchases, driving fierce loyalty and fueling the infamous console wars. Exclusives were not merely games, they were the primary catalysts for console sales and ecosystem dominance. However, the gaming environment has undergone a dramatic transformation. The once rigid boundaries of exclusivity have become increasingly blurred. Sony, for instance, has expanded its reach by releasing titles such as Horizon, Zero Dawn, and The Last of Us on PC. Microsoft has escalated this trend significantly by porting its previously exclusive titles directly to PlayStation and even Nintendo hardware. Games like Sea of Thieves, Grounded, and Forza Horizon 5 have found considerable success on rival consoles, demonstrating the viability of this cross-platform approach. In fact, recent data indicates that a substantial portion of the best-selling games on the PS5 originated from Xbox studios. Even Nintendo, historically the most guarded regarding its intellectual property, has ventured into the mobile gaming space with select titles. While exclusivity is far from obsolete, its nature is evolving. The industry is experiencing a level of inter-platform convergence not seen before, as the traditional console divides begin to soften. The widespread adoption of crossplay in multi-platform titles further signifies the fading relevance of the console wars, prompting developers and publishers to reevaluate and redefine what constitutes an exclusive title in the modern era. Microsoft has emerged as a leader in this paradigm shift. To date, the company has released a greater number of its exclusive titles on Nintendo and PlayStation hardware than its competitors combined. The upcoming release of Indiana Jones and The Great Circle on the Nintendo Switch 2, arguably the most significant Xbox port to Nintendo yet, further underscores this strategy. By strategically releasing select titles on Sony and Nintendo systems, Microsoft is effectively redirecting the industry conversation from platform-specific exclusivity to broader accessibility and player choice. What began as a calculated business experiment has evolved into a sustainable business model. Forza Horizon 5's remarkable success upon its PlayStation 5 debut highlighted the immense value inherent in such cross-platform decisions. Sony itself has signaled a potential shift in its business strategy, indicating a move towards a less hardware-centric approach, which could prelude even more PlayStation titles making their way to Xbox platforms. Similarly, Microsoft's decision to bring Gears of War Reloaded to PlayStation could herald the release of more major Xbox franchises on new consoles, including the highly anticipated Gears of War E-Day, a brand new installment in the beloved franchise. Regardless of the underlying motivations, these developments represent a significant victory for players. As games become available on a wider array of platforms, they naturally reach a larger audience. This not only grants players access to titles they might otherwise miss, but also cultivates a more robust player base, which is particularly crucial for multiplayer-focused games reliant on community health for sustained support. Microsoft's proactive approach to releasing its games across different platforms is setting a powerful precedent. The new industry ethos appears to be shifting from "which console do you own?" to "how can we bring these experiences to as many players as possible?" While the arrival of Helldivers 2 on Xbox is indeed a momentous occasion, especially given its recent popularity and the intriguing Halo 3 ODST crossover, the future for Sony and Nintendo's exclusivity strategies remains less certain. Nintendo, in particular, has historically maintained a stringent stance on releasing its iconic franchises like Mario and The Legend of Zelda on non-Nintendo hardware. Furthermore, while Helldivers 2 is considered an exclusive in this context, its impact and nature differ from internally developed first-party titles like The Last of Us or God of War, as it was developed by a third-party studio. The evolution of exclusivity remains an ongoing narrative. Microsoft has demonstrated remarkable adaptability in the face of market changes, and Sony appears to be making tentative steps in a similar direction. However, there is no guarantee that this will translate into Sony releasing its core PlayStation exclusives on other platforms. Nintendo's trajectory in this evolving landscape is even more ambiguous. Ultimately, only time will reveal the extent to which Microsoft's strategy will influence the fundamental exclusivity philosophies of Sony and Nintendo. The gaming community is abuzz with discussions about this shift. Many see it as a positive step towards greater accessibility, while others are wary of the potential dilution of console identity. Analysts are closely watching to see if this trend continues and how it impacts future console sales and game development strategies. This massive shakeup in exclusivity is truly mind-blowing. But before we wrap up, let's quickly recap the biggest stories and what you need to do next. And that's a wrap on today's news. We saw a massive price drop on the WD Black SN7100 4TB SSD, Gears of War. Reloaded landed on PS5 with mixed reviews. The PS5 Pro is at its lowest price ever, and the gaming world is witnessing a historic shift in exclusivity. Don't miss out on any of our future updates. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to PS5 Nexus for all your gaming news and deals, and ring that notification bell so you're always in the loop. Also, follow us on social media for even more content. Thanks for watching.